Negativity in a man is high estrogen and low testosterone. Negativity in a woman is estrogen trying to go up, but she's too far on her male side. She's using logic and reason to justify being an unhappy, unloving person. Okay, that's every woman comes to me with 10, 15 complaints. I go, yeah, I get it. And you're creating the problem, just as he's creating the problem. Equality and who's responsible for the problems will save relationships. But how can I say that to somebody until I first teach them about what men need, what women need, and she can understand, gee, if you're upset with me and I make you wrong for being upset, I say, oh, you shouldn't be upset. Well, that's wrong. Well, you're being so selfish. How could you say that? You're never happy anymore. Gosh, I've done all this stuff for you and you just don't appreciate me at all. Imagine a man saying that to you. It just shuts you down. It just shuts you down. Well, when you do that to a man, it shuts him down. We need to learn how to love, and we need to learn how to ask for more with love. We need to smile more. We need to take off the mask and smile more. And I think this whole thing about the mask is such a metaphor, because we all have this pretense that we're right. That's the mask we wear. Now we're taking it off, but at least realizing that the authority is wrong, because that's the ultimate belief system that we have to let go of. Is the authority is our parents. The authority is the people who know better than me. And that we take in all of their negative messages that they're storing inside of them. And even the parent who doesn't say it, if they're feeling it, it still affects the child even more.
Yeah, that's really, really key. That's really important. So it's
important, because I'll summarize that one. A woman was sharing with me who always very, very good Christian woman, and she loves her partner, stays with her partner, and then she had to be privately. I had to say, but when he doesn't do this, doesn't he do, how do you feel? Well, I give him more. Just how do you feel? Don't you feel, gee, he's not doing as much for me? She kind of for the first time, she goes, yeah, I resent him. Yeah, you're angry about it. Well, I can't say that. It's just you have to wake up to the darkness within yourself, not act on it, not justify it, but become aware of how you justify it, and then hide it as if it doesn't count. Of course it counts.
Yeah. So key. Yeah. Yeah. So for a woman that is in a relationship, and I want to pursue this just a touch more, because I think this is so relevant here for so many people, whether she's in a dating relationship or a long-term relationship or marriage, and they've gotten into this pattern, and there's this resentment or this lack of respect. How does a woman begin to, if she's going to say, okay, I'm part of the problem, I'm going to be a problem, I'm going to own this problem. How does she begin to shift that? Does she shift it by becoming more aware of her needs and asking him to do more, asking for specific things? Because she's now trained him to do less. How does she begin to shift that energy?
Okay, well, you said something very magical just then. She already knows she has to do less. Therefore, she can begin to realize that she is creating the problem from her side. Mm-hmm. She trained him that way. So that's very important. And that's one insight, but there's so many insights to realize all the mistakes you make thinking you're doing the right thing. Every time you think, why doesn't he do that for me? Like you said, why isn't he offering his help? It's because he's a man, and men don't do anything unless they're paid for it, unless they're asked to do it. And it's part of their job description. That's what we do. And that's
I call it energy efficient.
Yeah, I do too. I say it's a gene that we have, we call it the efficiency gene. Never do anything you don't have to do. Women call it laziness. No, it's just it's like a woman I was counseling the other day, and she said, my husband he works so hard. He trains people in the office to work hard, to be responsible, to do the right thing, but also take care of themselves and all these things. But then he comes home and he's exhausted and tired, and he spends hours just watching TV and overeating, and so, she basically is judging her husband. First, she tells me how much she loves him because he's such a great guy. And then she tells me all her problems. And I said, how do you fix this? Well, you fix this is you basically have to be a bigger problem that he can solve. The reason his work gets all his attention is because there's problems that he knows how to solve. You have to be a bigger problem that he can solve. And he has to be able to solve it without being the problem. You're the problem, and you have a problem that he can help you with. See, this is all. How do you know you're the problem? Because you don't know how you're contributing to the problem with him. So let's say that you complained about it. Well, first of all, we're saying ask for more. Well, most women, when we say ask for more, they're going to complain. And I'm saying never complain. Don't complain. How do you get more from him if you don't complain? You share yourself and you make requests when he feels successful. And those requests are not demands. That means I don't need a demand is a request which says, unless you do this, I won't be happy. Unless you change, I won't be happy. I can't be happy if you continue with this behavior. That's a false belief. Of course, you can be happy with whatever their behavior is. And let's say it's a really destructive behavior. Then the thing you need to do is learn how to be happy without him. Separate until he learned his lesson. You have to set boundaries. But you have to find out that you can be happy. And most women, unless the guy's beating you up and, all these terrible things, a drug addict, that's another thing. That's another category we're not talking about. But if you're not getting what you need from him, you have to first realize, and you're blaming him. That's that resentment start coming up. He's not doing this and I'm doing this. As soon as you start comparing how much I give versus him, that's a sign you're ruining the relationship right now. You can say, oh, he's ruining it too. He is, but you're ruining equal opportunity here to change the relationship. So I need to shift gears and do things that will stimulate estrogen in my body. And my body will now go into balance. Because whenever you're thinking about changing him, that's solving a problem. You're producing testosterone. Your estrogen doesn't go up. But if you say to him, another technique that we talk about, which is, honey, I'm so stressed out at work. This happened. I just want to share my feelings about it for 10 minutes. Would you listen and say nothing? Then give me a big hug. And then tell me that you do so much. This is a great phrase I teach men to say. You do so much for so many people. Just let me give you a hug. See, that's
just you saying that right now made me feel so good.
It does. And you can say it again and again, just like you can smile again and again. Nobody gets tired of a smile. That's what all men need is a smile. The smile says, I accept you. I'm happy to see you. I delight in your presence. Oh my God, that just knocks your testosterone up. And a man smiles. That's an activity that will help raise her up. Unless she's not smiling. You don't smile when she's not smiling. You mirror that.
Don't smile when
Tell me more. Yeah. It's different. I could be in a bad mood. And if you smile, it puts me in a good mood. That's a male-female thing. Whereas if she's not in a bad mood and I just smile and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I had such a great day today. I got to do this and this and this. Too bad for you. It does not work. But you can say to me, oh, too bad for you. You don't have to say that, but you just say, oh, I see you had a hard day today. I'm so lucky that I didn't. I feel so great. And I'm so grateful to you because you helped me have a good life. That's because we have a bit of a traditional role mate relationship where I'm the major provider. As soon as you are the major provider, women, you're handicapped, but you can get a wheelchair and you can solve that. And you ask me, how can they deal with that? You start asking for a particular kind of support from men that helps you feel more feminine. That's the whole key to it. Even when you're asking, you're actually on your testosterone side a little bit. You're already there anyway. So take responsibility to use him to come back to your female side. And communication is a key thing. Planning dates is a key thing. Asking for help is a key thing. Depending on him for things that he can provide, as opposed to being needy is depending on him for what he's not able to provide at this time. Everything builds. Okay. If you're getting nothing, you start with getting a little and appreciating that. And then you get a little more and you appreciate that. And you build up him as he builds up your ability to feel more safe and loved. And you produce more of the female hormones.